So let's talk about a blockchain that's making a huge bet. The bet is that in the wild world of finance, doing one thing absolutely perfectly is way better than doing everything just kind of well. Let's dive in.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Most blockchains out there are like a Swiss Army knife, right? They've got a tool for everything. NFTs, gaming, social media, you name it. But what if you don't need the corkscrew and the tiny pair of scissors? What if all you need is the sharpest, fastest blade possible for one single critical job?
Well, that is the core idea behind Sei. It's a network built from the ground up for one single purpose, to be the absolute best place for trading digital assets, period. Now, just a quick but really important heads up, this explainer is for informational purposes only, and it is definitely not financial advice.
Okay, so to really get our heads around Sei's big bet, here's our game plan. First, we'll cover what makes it a specialist. Then, we'll peek under the hood at its engine. We'll see how its native token works, check out who's already building on it, and finally, we'll weigh its future potential against some of the very real risks.
So you might be asking, why do we even need a specialist blockchain just for trading? Well, in finance, every single millisecond counts. A tiny delay can mean the difference between a profitable trade and a missed opportunity. And on a busy general-purpose network, those delays, they're pretty much unavoidable.
And that's where Sei comes in. See, it's not just another blockchain, it's a layer 1, which means it's the foundational layer built with the Cosmos toolkit. And its whole design is focused on giving trading apps what it literally calls an unfair advantage. And that advantage is all about game-changing speed and efficiency.
This slide just illustrates the difference perfectly. Think of Ethereum like a great general practitioner, fantastic for a whole range of issues. Sei, on the other hand, Sei is the cardiac surgeon. You wouldn't go to a cardiac surgeon for a common cold, right? But for a high-stakes, high-frequency operation, you want the absolute best specialist you can find.
So how does Sei actually achieve this incredible speed? What's the secret sauce in its engine that lets it run so fast?
Well, at the very heart of Sei's engine is a concept that's pretty simple in theory, but wow, it is incredibly powerful in practice. It's called parallel execution.
And this visualizes the problem perfectly. You know, most blockchains are like a single-lane road. Every car, or transaction, has to wait its turn in a long line. Sei is like a multi-lane superhighway. It processes tons of transactions at the exact same time, which just dramatically cuts down on those digital traffic jams.
And the result of that superhighway? I mean, look at this. We're talking block latency of under 400 milliseconds. That is literally faster than the blink of an eye, and it's an absolute game changer for any application that depends on speed.
But wait, it's not just about processing things in parallel. Sei has other tricks up its sleeve. Its twin-turbo consensus is a clever way to speed up how blocks are shared and confirmed. It has a native order book, which helps stop a sneaky problem called front-running. That's where bots see your trade coming and jump in front to profit off you. And it's EVM compatible, making it super easy for developers from the huge Ethereum ecosystem to bring their apps right over.
Okay, so we've got this high-performance engine, but what's the fuel that makes it all go? Well, that would be its native token, SEI. The SEI token is a real workhorse. It has 4 main jobs. First, it's used to pay for network fees, just like gas on Ethereum. Second, you can stake it to help secure the whole network and earn some rewards while you're at it. Third, it gives you voting rights on the future of Sei. And finally, it can be used as collateral or liquidity inside all those DeFi apps built on top. Now, as for the tokenomics, the network has a hard cap, a maximum supply of 10 billion Sei tokens. Right now, about 6.6 billion of those are out in circulation, and the rest are scheduled to be released over time.
All right, so the tech is impressive. The token has a clear purpose, but is anyone actually using this thing? Let's take a look at the real-world applications that are taking advantage of all this speed.
So it's no surprise that the main users are decentralized exchanges, or DEXs. They get a direct benefit from faster, cheaper trades. But it's also attracting stablecoin projects, more advanced DeFi protocols for things like lending and derivatives, and even NFT and gaming projects where, super fast, cheap transactions are crucial for a good user experience. And this is where Sei's whole specialist approach really shines. Just look at these numbers. We're talking over 4,000 transactions per second, with that insane sub-400 millisecond latency. I mean, compare that to even a famously fast chain like Solana, and especially to a generalist like Ethereum. The numbers really do speak for themselves.
So with all of that in mind,
what does the future actually hold for Sei? It's really important here to look at both sides of the coin, the massive potential and the pretty significant risks.
First, let's talk about the challenges, because they are real. The SEI token price is volatile, like pretty much all crypto assets. There's also some fierce competition from other high-speed chains, all fighting for the same users. And look, Sei's success really depends on attracting developers and users. If that adoption stalls, the tech alone just isn't enough. And finally, the regulatory world is always a big question mark.
On the flip side, the team has a clear roadmap to tackle these challenges. They're focused on bringing more assets to the chain, continuing to make their core tech even better, building bridges to institutional players, and offering incentives to get the best developers to build on Sei.
So this leaves us with two very different potential outcomes. In a bullish world, Sei crushes its mission and becomes the foundational layer for a huge slice of on-chain finance. But in a bearish world, the competition's just too fierce, or adoption never really takes off, and it remains more of a niche player.
When you boil it all down, it comes to this. Sei is a specialist in a world of generalists. It's making a laser-focused bet that for the future of finance, being the fastest at one specific thing is way more valuable than being just pretty good at a bunch of things.
And that leaves us with the big question, right? As this whole space matures, who wins? Is it the highly optimized specialist built for one single purpose? Or is it the jack-of-all-trades network that tries to do it all? I guess only time is going to tell.